All right, everybody, welcome to Stay Creative. We are here with a great guest, and I want you guys to stay creative. Today's guest is Mike Huberty. He is a singer, songwriter, performer for the group called Sunspot. He's got a lot to tell us today, and let's just cut to the chase. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, so let's just cut to the chase. Quarantine, coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. How has it been affecting you?
Well, the first thing was that number one, all of our band's shows are immediately canceled, and this was right. I mean, so we were scheduled for South by Southwest, and we're heading down to Austin, and we were booking shows on the way down. We even had like a special. We write songs about UFOs, ghosts, and things like that. So we had a paranormal convention. We were going to play on the last day of the festival, in addition to the music stuff during the festival. And then that all came within a week. All of a sudden, that trip was canceled, which changed all of our plans. And then show by show, week by week, things have been canceled all the way out to August, I think. I mean, that's it. Everything's been like wiped off the slate. Mm-hmm. So we've been just stuck inside, and that was it. In Wisconsin, we're from Madison, Wisconsin. We had an order that said you weren't supposed to get together, you weren't supposed to go meet people, you weren't even supposed to, have band practice, even if you're 6 feet away from each other. So we did the best thing we could and decided to start making videos where we're all playing our instruments, but we're separate, and then edit together, and then have a weekly party where we all get together online on Facebook, play the videos, have a couple of cocktails, talk with everybody, and keep the connection going with our community, even if we can't all be together.
I love it. I love it. So you definitely are being resourceful with the resources you have. So talk about that, the response. What has, been the response from the fans?
Well, that it's funny because it's interesting how people who maybe you haven't talked to in a couple of years, or haven't been out to a regular show in a couple of years, or a city that we haven't been to in a while. Like I was going to say, we haven't played Cincinnati in a couple of years, and yet we're talking to people and playing for people in Cincinnati, just as an example, who we haven't seen since maybe 2018 or 2017. But now they're like, oh, if they know they can just come online, check it out, talk a little bit and stuff, and make comments and jokes and things, and still be part of it, even without us being in person. Now, obviously, it's not the same as a rock show, so you have to think about how you're going to put together interesting visuals and things like that to maybe make it interesting for people who are watching on their phone even, or all the way to people who are watching on their big screen TV because they got an Apple TV, a smart TV, or something like that to do it. So you're trying to create a different kind of experience for them so that they still feel engaged, even though we're not all in a club together.
So let's talk about this video that you sent me. What is it called? And I want to hype it, and then we're going to show it to the audience.
Last week, the song is called Spend the Night. And we were trying to put something together because it's a song that we wrote based on the people that go to haunted hotels, like they might go to the Queen Mary if they're out in Southern California by you, Alex, or they might visit the Capitol here in Madison, Wisconsin, or they might go to one of the theaters we have here and do a ghost hunt or something where they walk around with the meters and everything. And so we wrote this song, based on that, Spend the Night. And we were looking for ways, okay, now how are we going to make something where we're all in different rooms, kind of spooky, kind of weird, and then create a song, create a video that people could watch and be like, hey, I'm looking at this on my phone, and these are just, three doofuses or whatever in Madison, Wisconsin, but they're still having fun, and they're still putting it together. So we just wanted to make, a version of the song that still was spooky, that still was weird, even though none of us have seen each other in person as a band for 2.5 months, which is the longest we haven't seen each other in person in 25 years.
Damn. All right. I love it. Let's watch it. The world premiere of Spend the Night.
I'll spend the night in a killer's bed, gonna spend some time in her head. Well, I'm here to talk to the dead, and I'll spend the night. I'll spend the night in a murder scene, hoping some rubs off on me. No, I don't get queasy, and I'll spend the night. Is it the fear I want to face? Is it the memory of the chase? Is it the blood I want to taste? I just don't know. Is it a lust for the profane, or a dream of the insane? Well, we just can't explain, and we'll spend the night.
All right, we're back. That was a fun, spooky video. I really loved it. You're just kind of like this little spirit singer on the left side of the screen.
Right. Well, and I recorded it right in this room, as far in this microphone,
Uh-huh.
and against the green screen that was back there. We just set up a green screen in like the spare room of my house, because we normally have a warehouse that we rehearse in and stuff and record in. But since we haven't been going there, I've been trying to, like, how do we do this at home? How do we set up things at home? And it's just, what do you have? Like, well, have a green screen, have a camera, and let's see what we can come up with. What can we do? Because just because we can't be together doesn't mean that we can't still, still make music, still have fun, still talk to people, and share something with the crowd, even though we're not all in the same room.
So who has inspired you during this time?
I've been, I think, seeing the people who are staying positive, and staying maybe not necessarily apolitical. I don't mean, because, people are going to have strong opinions about all those kind of things. But I'm starting to feel that it's not my opinion. It might matter at the ballot box or whatever. But if I have a certain kind of opinion about, like, oh, this lockdown sucks, or, oh, this is not fair, all these kind of things, of course it's not. But I'm not the scientist or the epidemiologist or anything like that. And here's the world we're given. And so when I watch people who understand that this is the world we're given, and good or bad, right or wrong, we're still just got to do our best. And also the ones who listen to other people, the ones who are the people that really inspire me are the people who I see with the most patience and empathy, I think, is because it's really easy to get mad at stuff right now, and frustrated, and it's easy to lash out. And so if you're able to listen to another person's opinion and talk to them with empathy and understanding, and I've seen more of that. Everybody talks about how the internet's a cesspool. Of course it is. But I've also seen a lot of great examples of people being good to each other and listening and trying to understand each other, and realizing that if people that would argue over the internet, if you were talking to somebody in person, you wouldn't, you would try to see their opinion and try to, have a reasonable conversation. And I've seen more of those than I expected to see. So I've been inspired by that, by seeing a lot of people be more empathetic with each other than I thought, that I would see. And so that's been really good. And that's helped me want to be like, well, I want to create more. And when people come into our little virtual shows and they hang out with us for a half an hour, 45 minutes, and watch these silly videos, that we can help them, see the good stuff in each other, see the good stuff in art, find the beauty in the hard times. And so, I mean, that's a lofty way of saying, just trying to keep our heads up.
No,
and
that's
when I
important.
see other people doing that, that's what I just try to do, is I try to say, like, you know what, everybody's got it tough. Let's do our best to make it a little better for just a few minutes.
No, I love that. I love that. Now, would you mind in this segment, what we do is we have our guests talk to the camera, and I want you to give some inspiration to our audience. What can they do while they're stuck at home to stay creative and stay inspired?
Okay. Well, I think the first thing you have to do is realize that it's okay if you're not okay. It's okay to acknowledge the fact that not everything is cool, and acknowledge the fact that you feel a little crazy sometimes, acknowledge the fact that sometimes you might not even want to get to work or something like that because there's too much weighing on your mind. And that's okay sometimes. Like the world is going to beat you every once in a while, but that's not like, that doesn't mean this is the end of it. I think the biggest thing is to stay creative. It's saying, okay, the world beat me yesterday and it was a tough day and I went to bed, but I woke up and it's a new day and it's a new chance. And every day is a new chance to do something really cool. And it's almost like when you get a class assignment, when you're in school or something like that, and you say like, okay, we give you these 3 things, you have a half an hour and you have, these 3 things, a paintbrush, a piece of paper, and some watercolors. I do this to my daughter all the time because she's been at home stuck with us, and I'm not a teacher or anything like that. I'm just a goofball. So trying to, still give her some semblance of an education while she's stuck with me. What can I teach her about? Well, I guess I know a lot of random Star Wars facts. No, but the thing is,
that's all you need. That's all you need.
Right. But I think about that. She can sit there, Daddy, I want to paint. Okay, let's sit down. Let's paint together. We're just going to take a few minutes and we're just going to take without any kind of expectation and any kind of like, oh, this has to be awesome at the end, without any kind of pressure. We just go and make something. And then at the end, she's proud of it and she's happy. And sometimes just doing a little bit and, going with your limitations with what is all you have, you can come up with some really cool stuff. And I'm not trying to compare somebody's like hard working on art to like a 3-year-old's painting. But what I mean is that just because we're limited doesn't mean that you can't still make something very, very cool. And you have something in your house, you have something we all have in our pocket, like the kind of technology, the camcorder, the audio recorder, the artistic, you can make art and everything. Think about an Instagram filter.
Yeah.
Alex, imagine if we were in college or whatever, what we could have done if we would have had like HD cell phones. Like you could have made, we were already sitting around with like super 8mm cameras that looked like crap and shooting parties to try to put together cool footage and everything. And now you can do that all the time. You can edit everything. So the thing is, it's okay to just every once in a while say, you know what, I'm not going to do anything today. And then wake up the next day and say, you know what, today I'm going to give it a shot. And this might be all I got, but some of the greatest songs in the world are written on a piano or an acoustic guitar. Or think about some of the great rap songs you love. Like a lot of hip hop is just taking an old record and singing over it. Like those guys didn't even need a musical instrument to make a great record. They're just like, look, we have some of these old R&B albums that our parents had, and and they put it together, right? And then they started talking over it rhythmically and everything, and you made
a hybrid song. Yeah,
right. Incredible music. So the thing is, yes, it's it's awesome to have a million tools, but sometimes you can, the tools you have are all you need to make something incredible. And so I feel that it's something I'd have to remind myself of every day when I get annoyed by a certain kind of thing, or I get annoyed by, I can only bring my camera so far back in this little room, so I can't even get like the full body in the green screen, whatever. But okay, then that's what I got. So I guess I'm going to do it from the top half. And what can I do with the top half?
Hey, that allows you to wear shorts or underwear then instead. It's like you don't have to wear pants.
Right, or nothing at all.
There you go. All right, well, let's get this last part in. I want to know where our audience can find you online.
Absolutely. If you're interested in downloading a free Sunspot song, checking it out, sunspotuniverse.com is where you can find like our latest singles are always going to be at sunspotuniverse.com. If you want to find us on Facebook for one of our live Tuesday and Thursday night get-togethers, that's just facebook.com/sunspotmusic. So it's the Sunspot Music on Facebook, and you're welcome to come on in and you'll just hear me we're talking about music, telling stupid jokes, having a drink, and playing some of the different kind of fun acoustic at-home arrangements of music that we make every single week.
Well, that sounds very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing, you and I have known each other for a long time, but I'm looking forward to seeing all the new stuff that you put out there, especially during these constraints of quarantine, because really this might be where your best music comes on. You never know.
That's true. You never know sometimes when hey, speaking of great rap. I mean, how much great stuff did Tupac write when he was in prison? And imagine the kind of like restrictions and limitations you have when you're in a place like that. So this is what we have. Let's just do our best to be good to each other and make the best stuff we can no matter what.
I love it. Well, Mike, thank you for being on our show. Once again, stay positive and also stay creative. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Alex.